Today we're going to be having a look at how we can put a cloth underneath your fish and chips and peas so that it looks like you're out on a picnic. Okay, we're not going to go into a plate at the moment, we might build on that a little bit later, but we're going to be looking at a picnic cloth for us to create. So what we need to do is obviously have our fish, chips and peas open in front of us to begin with, and we're going to show you how to create a cloth. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just zoom out of this a little bit so that I can see what I'm looking at, and I'm going to be using my plane, in other words the area that this is sitting on, and I'm going to duplicate that. So if you remember how to duplicate, it is Shift and the letter D, and we can duplicate this. Okay, I'm then going to move it up on the Z axis, so I'm going to move it upwards like this. Let me just move around to a side view. If you remember, the side view is number 1, so I'm just going to make sure one is sitting on top of the other. We'll zoom out, make sure that this is correct. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Let's just double check from this angle. All right, I'm happy with that. So now I have a 2-layered plane that I'm working with here. Now what I'd like to do is I would actually like to make the plane on the top just a little bit different in size to the plane on the bottom. So I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller. So I'm going to press S and I'm just going to reduce it a little bit. Okay, so that this is going to be my cloth that's going to sit on top of the ground, which is obviously my base plane. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're actually going to make some changes to this plane on the top so that we can actually start getting it to behave more like material or cloth. To do this, we're going to click on the tool in your toolbar, which is called a modifier. It looks like a spanner. So we're going to click on that. We're going to click on Add Modifier. And underneath the heading Generate, we're going to click on Subdivision Surface. Okay, you can see that it's changed the shape of that cloth quite dramatically for us. Have a look on the side here, and what you'll see is the subdivisions it mentions. It says View 1 and Render 2. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to increase this so that it is View 5. Let's just go down one, and we'll make the Render 5 as well. So if you can do that quickly for me, what you'll see is that it will turn it into a circular shape for us, which is perfect for what we want to do. What we need to do now is click on Apply, and that will apply it to just that circular shape there. Okay, we're going to do something now that you haven't done before, and that is to actually change it from object mode into edit mode. And there's a number of ways of doing this. You've got object mode down the bottom here. If you click on that, you can select edit mode. Alternatively, if you press the tab key on your keyboard, which is just above the caps lock key, then it will do the same thing. Okay, so this is going to allow us to edit the way that this shape behaves. If you have a look at our shape now, what you will see is that that particular shape has been divided up into lots of different segments, and we need that to be the case so that we can actually get it to behave like cloth. You can see all of the different squares and the different segments we have. What we need to do now is also quite a new thing for you as well. Where it says Blender Render at the top, we're going to change that so that it changes to Cycles Render. So click on Cycles Render. And what we're also going to do is, if you have a look at the top of your stage, you will see that there are like 3 or 4 little lines in this top corner. If we grab hold of those lines, we can actually make 2 screens where there was originally 1. Okay, so we need to do that for us to be able to effect the change that we want. I've got rid of that little toolbar, but if you want it back, you can just click on that plus sign at the top and it will pop back open for you. Okay, but we don't really need that right now. Now that we have these 2 windows open, what we need to do is we need to actually give the cloth some texture. So we're going to go across to our toolbar and we're going to find the Materials tab, which will actually give it some texture. And also we need to change this second window. So down at the bottom of the second window, you'll see a little square, a little cube. I'm going to click on that and I'm going to change it to the UV image editor so that it looks like this. Okay, you do that for me now.